This is Radio Heartbeats.
This is Play Your Charts Right. Please welcome your host, Mark Pearson.
Yes, hello, welcome once again to Play Your Charts Right, a quiz all about hits, not wits. And we say it's nice to see you. Yes, we have our two teams in the studio once again down here at Radio Heartbeat. And if one of the teams wins tonight, if they play their charts right, they may just get lucky. But I know you're thinking on the wards, how do I play the game? Well, the team in the studio know how it works, but let me explain it for you. We're going to hear a series of chart clips that have been selected at random by our resident AI that we call the Chart Time Machine. Nobody knows what the year in question is going to be. And all we're going to do, we're going to play the chart clips, and the team have to guess whether they think the clip they just heard was higher or lower than the last. If they think it was closer to a 1, they'd say higher. If they think it was closer to a 40, they would say lower. And don't forget, it's always based off the peak chart position that the song reached in the year in question. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why we call the game Play Your Charts Right. Quick recap of last week's edition. Andy Williams stormed it. 5 out of 5 for 2010. The overall score, it's 10 points to 3 in the favour of Team Andy. Team Brian has some catching up to do. Let's see how they do this evening. But before we do any of that, we need to find out what the year in question is going to be. Chart Time Machine, what have you got for us this week?
1989.
We are going back to 1989, not a year that we've actually done before, so we'll be doing this one for the first time. So now that the year in question has been selected, there's only one thing left to do. It's now time to play this week's edition of Play Your Charts Right. And this is my favourite bit. Off we go again for this week's edition of PYCR. And of course, as per the rules of PYCR, if you won the week before, you get to go first the week after. And last week's winner was Team Andy. We call him Team Andy, but he's a one-man army. Now, Andy, because I'm such a nice guy, what I'm going to do for you tonight, I'm going to play you a starter hit, and once I've played that starter hit for you, I'm going to tell you the name of that record and the peak chart position that record reached in our golden year, selected by the machine. It's 1989. So, Andy, if you're ready, let's hear your starter hit from 89.
So sorry you couldn't get through, cause this is a message that's been recorded, especially for you. God knows you.
Andy, your starter hit tonight, it's Curiosity Killed the Cat with Name and Number. In 1989, the peak chart position that record reached was a number 14. So now that we've played that record, we can crack on with the game. So as we go into round one, Andy, let's hear your first hit from our golden year of 1989. The full name of this group, Andy, it's We've Got a Fuzzbox, and we're going to use it, but for the purposes of the quiz, we're just going to call them Fuzzbox. That is Fuzzbox with International Rescue. Okay, was it higher or lower than a 14 in 1989?
I remember We've Got a Fuzzbox and we're going to use it.
He called them Fuzzbox on the radio at the time, didn't he?
I actually think it was... That track, I think, was lower, Mark. Even though we're starting with a 14. I think lower, please.
That's Andy's first answer. He thinks that Fuzzbox with International Rescue was lower than a 14 in 1989. Can we give him point number 1 in round 1? We can't.
No.
It was higher, and it was 3 places up. Peak chart position of Fuzzbox with International Rescue, number 11 in 1989. Not quite top 10.
That
just
only
missed
hit?
out.
Don't know, actually, whether they had another hit or not. Can't remember.
They didn't deserve one.
Never a truer word said, but no points for Andy in round 1. It's now time to go over to our second team. We call them Team Brian. They consist of Brian Conlon and Edward. Let's hear your first hit from 1989. What's it going to be? Well, let's give it a spin.
You mystify me. mystify. You mystify me.
Team Brian in round 1, your first hit from 89 is In Excess with Mystify. Was it higher or lower than a number 11?
Good old Inks.
Yeah, Inks.
Mystify, I can't remember
Late
that one, and
80s.
the logic is, if I remember, it was played on the radio a lot. So if it was played on the radio a lot, it might have been a hit, but that logic doesn't always work. So,
And
what
that
was it, 11?
is
Higher or lower than an 11?
11.
You can have this one.
We can have this one together, Brian. I feel like it's safe to go higher with In Excess.
In that case, we will go higher, just as Aston Villa have done with their goal they've just scored.
I love it.
Yeah, the decision from Team Brian, they've discussed it. They think In Excess with Mystify was higher than a number 11 in 1989. It wasn't. It was 3 places down. We went 3 up, 3 down. Number 14 in 1989 for In Excess and Mystify. No points for anybody in round 1. But there's still everything to play for as we go over into round 2. So for the second time this evening, let's go back over to Andy. Let's hear your second hit from 89. Let's turn it over and find out what it is. Andy, your second hit tonight, it's Living in a Box with Blow the House Down. Was it higher or lower than a 14 in 89?
Now, Living in the Box with Living in a Box did really well. Did this do slightly? I think slightly higher. I'm not sure whether it hit the top 10, but I think it was slightly higher than 14 though. So I'm going to say higher, please, Mark.
You heard it discussing with himself. He's Team Andy, he's playing Lonesome, but he thinks that Living in a Box with Blow the House Down could have been higher than a 14 in 89. Andy gets his first point of the game, 4 places up. Top 10 for Living in a Box with Blow the House Down, number 10, featuring a guitar solo as well from Brian May from Queen in that record.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I did it then.
And it was a hit for them. First point awarded to Andy in round 2. Let's go over now to Team Brian. We've got their next hit queued up. I'm sure they're dying to hear it, so let's give it a spin and find out what it's going to be from 1989.
I don't want a lover, I just need a friend. I've a time to love.
And Team Brian, it's Texas with I Don't Want a Lover.
That's a
higher or
great
lower
track.
than a 10?
I'm going to say higher.
Fine by me, Brian. This is your call, this one.
Yeah. So we can both get one wrong.
Yeah.
Edward turning the tables on Brian there. Brian thinks that Texas with I Don't Want a Lover was higher than a 10 in 1989. Is Edward correct to go along with Brian's decision? Of course he is. Texas, I Don't Want a Lover, excellent track. 2 places up in 1989. Peak chart position was a number 8. So Team Brian also get their first point of the game. It's 1 apiece as we go to the midpoint, round 3. Back over to Andy Williams. Let's hear his next hit.
It's like every cowboy sings a sad song. Every rose has its thorn.
Andy Williams, it's Poison with Every Rose Has Its Thorn. That's your third hit from 1989, but the big question is, was it higher or lower than a number 8?
Vaguely remember this track, but I've got a feeling, I mean, I could be completely wrong here. I certainly don't think it was top 5. Was it higher though than 8? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say lower.
Andy thinks that Poison with Every Rose Has Its Thorn was lower than a number 8 in 1989 for point number 2. Are you correct? You are correct. 5 places down for Poison. Every Rose Has Its Thorn. Peak chart position in 89. Number 13. Andy gets his next green token on the board. Let's go over now to Brian and Edward. We've got another hit all queued up for them. I'm sure they're desperate to hear it to get another point, but we can't give it to them until we've heard it. Here we go.
There's a party going on in Atomic City. Some addicted, none sitting pretty. There's a party going on in Atomic City.
And Team Brian, your third hit tonight in Play Your Charts Right, chosen by the Chart Time Machine from 99. It's Holly Johnson with Atomic City. But was it higher or lower than a number 13?
Well, I don't remember that one at all. And I think Frankie Goes to Hollywood were on the wane in 89.
It does sound very similar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's that kind of...
But 13 is an awkward number, so I got the last one right. You can get this one right, Edwin.
Okay. On that case, I feel like that kind of music's on the rise, and I'm going to say higher.
Oh, okay.
You heard it from Edward. He thinks that Holly Johnson with Atomic City was higher than a 13 in 1989. He's made the decision for Team Brian, but has he scored a point for Team Brian? He hasn't. 5 places down for that one. Holly Johnson, Atomic City. Its peak chart position was a number 18 in 1989. The score is now 2-1. There's still everything to play for. Over we go into round 4. Andy Williams, let's hear your 4th hit from 1989.
I can't remember anything. Can't tell if this is true or a dream. Deep down inside I feel the scream. This terrible silence stops in there.
I think if I stand corrected, this is the 3rd time in a few weeks you've had this band, Andy. It's Metallica with 1. Was it higher or lower than an 18 in 1989? Metallica with 1.
Wow.
One, and it was released as a single.
Yeah, I'm going to say lower. I don't. I mean, obviously, I know Metallica, but I don't remember this track at all. And I stand corrected again if I'm wrong. So I'm going to stick with lower.
You heard it from Andy's mouth himself. Andy thinks that Metallica with 1 was lower than a number 18 in 1989. Has he made the correct call for a point? He hasn't. It was 5 places up, that one, number 13 in 1989 for Metallica's 1.
Wow.
And he doesn't get the point in round 4. We've got a very close game tonight as we go back over to Team Brian.
We need this one.
They need this one. I was just going to say you need this point to stay in contention. Let's hear your 4th hit from the golden year of 1989. Team Brian, hit number 4 from 1989. It's Sonia with Can't Forget You. Was it higher or lower than a 13?
Oh, don't remember this one at all. But it's got that kind of sound that might have been good. 13.
I'll let you do this one since I did the last one.
I'm tempted to say lower on this one.
I also am tempted to say lower.
So 1, 2, 3.
Lower.
You heard it from them in tandem. Team Brian think that Sonia with Can't Forget You was lower than 13 in 1989 for that all-important point. Are they correct? They are. 4 places down for Sonia, Can't Forget You, number 17.
I like the irony of that. A song called Can't Forget You, and none of us remember it.
And it's completely forgettable.
Yeah, you forgot all about it.
Number 17 in 1989 for Sonia, Can't Forget You, but it didn't matter because it gave Team Brian a point. The game now goes down to the final round. Will there be a winner in round 5, or is it going to go to a tiebreak? Well, let's find out. It's time for round 5. Andy, let's hear your final hit from 1989.
Got my spine, I've got my orange crush.
Andy, your last hit from 1989, it's R.E.M. with Orange Crush. Higher or lower than a 17?
I mean, instantly I heard that, I actually thought top 10 R.E.M. And I might be wrong when I say that, but I genuinely believe it was higher than 17. So higher, please, Mark.
Andy is searching for his last point of the game. Will he find it? He thinks that R.E.M. with Orange Crush was higher than a 17 in 1989.
What?
It wasn't. You're not going to believe this.
That's crazy.
This is one of the biggest falls we've had in Play Your Charts Right history. 11 places down.
Whoa.
Peak chart position of R.E.M.'s Orange Crush was a number 28
Wow.
in 1989. So Andy doesn't get the point. Everything hangs in the balance in the final round on the final record. Back now over to Team Brian. If they get this next one correct, they will win the game. Let's find out what their final hit is going to be in round 5 on this week's Play Your Charts Right. And Team Brian, your final hit this evening on Play Your Charts Right from 1989. It's ABC with One Better World. Was it higher or lower than a 28?
Well, I don't remember the song, but 28 is...
That's very low, but I think we should just take this slow. I think we should just re-evaluate our situation.
And give an answer next week.
Yes.
I'm tempted to say higher because 28 is...
I think higher.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Team Brian have made their decision. They think that ABC with One Better World was higher than a 28 in our golden year of 1989. Will they get one more point and win the game, or will we go to a tie-break? Let's find out.
Blimey.
And I can confirm the peak chart position of ABC's One Better World 4 places down in 1989. The peak chart position was a number 32, so we know what that means.
Shame, because I've never heard of it, but it didn't sound too bad.
ABC as well.
It's a good track by a good band, but it just didn't get even into the top 20. There's no point in going to the scores and the doors because we know what the current state of affairs is. We've got 2 points to Team Andy and 2 points to Team Brian, and that only means one thing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go to a tie-break. Oh yes, it's back. It's the tension music. Team Brian really want the point for this week. Andy is 7 points ahead. Let's see how it goes for them this week. So, how does the tie-break work? Let me explain it for you. What I'm going to do, I'm going to play one more hit for everybody in the room. Now, because Andy went first, he's going to try and guess what he thinks the peak chart position of this record was in 1989. Once he's made his guess, we'll then go over to Team Brian, and they will try and guess whether they thought it was higher or lower than Andy's guess. So, if you're ready, listening up on the wards and in the studio, let's hear this week's tiebreaker for 1989.
Love, 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 love. Anyone can see that there was love all over me. The second summer of love is here.
And the tiebreaker this week for 1989, it's Danny Wilson with The Second Summer of Love. Andy, what do you think the peak chart position of that record was in 1989?
I am going to say, I think that was number 9.
Andy has locked in a number 9. Andy, was Danny Wilson with The Second Summer of Love a number 9 in 89? It wasn't a number 9. Team Brian, was it higher or lower than a 9?
Remember the song? I don't know if it was a radio hit or an actual hit. I'm tempted to say higher, but...
I'm tempted
Any
to
thoughts?
say lower. I feel like 9's a very high number. Oh, I'm torn. What do you think?
I'm going to make an executive decision.
Do it.
We're going to go higher, and if it's wrong, it's my fault.
You heard it from Team Brian. The decision is made. Andy Williams thinks Danny Wilson with The Second Summer of Love was a number 9 in 1989, and Team Brian have decided that they think it was higher. For the point, I can confirm the peak chart position of Danny Wilson's Second Summer of Love in 1989 was... It was a number 23.
Oh, no.
Andy takes the point for 1989.
Sorry, mate.
Team Brian almost there, almost got a point. Andy now extends his lead to 11 points to 3, and that was not only was that a close game, another funny old year for music.
Telling you, honestly, I feel like I won that one. Well, last week I strolled it. This week I was to buy the skin of my teeth, that one, to be honest with you.
You didn't win it, we lost it.
You lost it, yeah. It's like, but a point's a point, as they say, Mark. A point is a point.